Hello guys, welcome to our first tutorial of computer introduction, a computer and its components. So this is lesson 1 that we are going to look at. Lesson 1 that we are going to look at in computer, an introduction to computer, a computer and its components. So we are into lesson 1. Feel free, just take heart. If it's possible, take a piece of paper and pen, so that maybe you may be lighting other things for you to understand. Where you don't understand, make sure you pause the video, you play it again, you play it again, and make sure you don't miss any grip of concept in this video, because it is lesson 1 and in the introduction of computer. So once you miss the first basic of computer introduction, you got it all wrong. There's nothing hard in here, or it's simple. It's just like drinking water. So we are going to answer this question: what is a computer? I'm sure you have seen a computer before, but the question is, what is a computer? So a computer is an electronic device that operates under the control of instructions stored in its memory that accept data input, process the data according to specified rules, and produce information, which is the output, and stores the information for future use. So we are saying that a computer is an electronic device that operates under instructions, and it does what? It accepts data. In other words, it inputs data and processes that data under specific instruction, or maybe according to the instructions, and then it also produces data and stores data. So a computer is more like it's a machine. We can call it to be a machine that processes data. An example we can give is of a message, where when entering or typing a message into your phone, think of it. You have a phone in your hand, and then that phone is a computer. You want to enter data into that computer. So what do you do? Okay, maybe for example, you want to type a message to your friend to say hello. How do you enter that data? You enter it letter by letter. Meaning what? Entering letter by letter, and then the computer is going to process that letter by letter to put it into a complete concept of what you are trying to mean. And then the next thing that it will do what? It will now input that data now into a complete concept to say hello. You type H, you type E, you type L, and then you type O. And then what are you going to have as a result? You will have a complete information or data that is going to be now inputted. You can input data by sending it to your friend, or maybe even just storing it into the same phone. So that's the whole basic of a computer. It's an electronic device that operates under instructions. So you cannot operate a computer minus adhering to its instructions. if you open up your application message in your phone, it will require you to type. With phones of these days, what do? You even record messages. So a computer will tell you, okay, here you can record the message, here you can type. So you as a human, what do? You follow its instructions. That's a computer. So nothing is odd. A computer is a basic instruction a device, is an electronic device that operates under instructions, and it does what? Stores information. We are going now. This computer has functions or functionalities of a computer. It has functions that it operates under. Now, what are these functions? We are saying that one, a computer does what? It takes data as input. Two, a computer stores the data or instructions in its memory and uses them when required. Three, processes the data and converts it into useful information. Four, it generates the output, and then it controls all the steps. So these are the functions of a computer. It takes data as input, stores data and instructions in its memory, and then it uses it when it's required, processes the data and converts it into useful information, generates the input, and also it controls all these steps. So these are the functions of a computer. Whatever computer, it be a tablet, a phone, a desktop, a laptop, it has these functions. Now, users of a computer. What are some of the users of a computer? Like at home, how is a computer used? One, to make bills payments. Nowadays, we are able to make payments using our phones, to pay for water bills, to pay for electricity, to pay for maybe subscription of our TV, all those. We are able to use a computer to watch movies like a television. It's a computer. We are able to use a computer for social media. Also, medically, computers are being used to keep a database of customers, to keep the record of customers. If you go to a hospital today to get an X-ray, what is going to work there? It's a computer. Scanning, it's a computer being used. Surgical devices, it's a computer. And also in industries also, a computer is being used for designing purposes, online marketing, record keeping also. So not only in industries, we also have in businesses, we also have in education. There are in almost any sector you will find the use of a computer. So these just are some of the little uses that you can get to master. Components of a computer. So a computer has also components. It has parts that make it to be complete as a computer. What are some of these parts? So we are saying that we have hardware and software parts or components. So we are saying that hardware, these are parts of a computer that are physical and they can be touched. These are parts of a computer that are physical and they can be touched. So this is hardware. What kind of computer parts or component are you able to see which are physical? We have the monitor, we have the mouse, we have the keyboard, we have the hard disk drive, or in other words called the hard drive. We have we have the memory card. All these are parts of the computer that you are able to hold. So we are saying that among these hardware, we have input and output pads combined. So we are saying that an hardware is a part of a computer that is physical and that you are able to touch. Now, among these hardware computers, they are divided into two. We have input devices and output devices. So what do we mean if we say input devices or output devices? Let us look at this. Input devices. So we're saying input devices do what? They input data or translate data from the language of human into language of a computer. So we have these components or maybe parts of a computer that we use to input data, and the components or maybe parts of the computer that we use to input data into a computer, they are called input. If I get a keyboard and type a word and I'm able to see it in a computer, meaning I have inputted data using a keyboard. Examples of input devices: we have a mouse. A mouse is an input device because it's the one we use to click on our computer there. We also have a keyboard that helps us also to enter data. If I want to type something into a computer, what do I use? A keyboard. For example, when I click on 2, if I click 2, I will see the 2 displaying on my monitor, meaning I have inputted data. So meaning a keyboard is used to input data. Apart from a mouse and a keyboard, what other components of the computer do we have? We have a touch screen. I'm sure even the phone you are using to watch this video is a touch screen. You are able to, just by clicking with your finger, you are able to enter data into a phone, which is a computer. We also have scanners. I'm sure you have tried. It has happened before, where you take a document or your NLC or your ID card for scanning. So a scanner enters data into a computer. It scans data into a computer. We have a camera. Your smartphone there, you normally use it for capturing maybe photos, videos. So a camera is also an input. A microphone, when you talk through like the one I'm using to record now, it's a microphone, so you are able to hear what I'm saying because I'm using a microphone that is inputting data, so that you are able to get what I'm saying. We have many input devices. These are just some of the few input devices. We move to the central processing unit. We are saying that a central processing unit is brain of a computer. It is responsible for all functions and processes. The CPU is the most important element of a computer system. So this computer, this CPU is a brain, or in other words, it's a motherboard of a computer. It is responsible for processing data. When you enter data into a computer using an input, the CPU is going to process data to make it a complete work, or a complete finished product that it can be inputted. So now the CPU is comprised of 3 main parts. One, arithmetic logistic unit. This part of a computer on the arithmetic logistics unit, what does it do? It is responsible for executing, or maybe for making calculations of arithmetic, for making calculations and also logical operations. For you, if you use a calculator to add numbers together, The part of a CPU that is responsible for that is what? It's a ALU, arithmetic logistic unit, that is responsible for executing calculations or maybe arithmetic and logistic operations. Apart from that, we have the control unit. What does the control unit does? It controls and coordinates computer components. So we have different types of computer components. So this control unit coordinates them together, where if I use a mouse or maybe a keyboard to enter data, it coordinates these components or maybe parts of the computer. Apart from that, we have also the registers. It stores the data that is to be executed next, very fast in this storage area. So when does this register? It detects to say, okay, this data that is being processed, there is another phase that it needs, so it prepares that path that data can be executed in a fast way. So this is the work of a CPU. And then a CPU somehow it's also an hardware. It's also an hardware. You are able to carry the CPU, you are able to touch the CPU, so that's an hardware of a computer. So input devices. An input device is any piece of computer hardware equipment used to communicate the results of data processing carried out by an information processing unit. So we are saying that input devices, these input devices, what do? They process data in a finished way. They convert data electronically, generating information into human readable form. If I'm typing, I'm using a keyboard to enter data. The CPU is going to process that data, and then what do I get? Finally, I get an output in a finished work. For example, if I'm typing a letter, I'll be typing letter to letter or maybe word to word, but a computer is going to process that data to put it into a complete information, where an output device is going to do what? To retrieve or maybe to convert that data electronically, so that as a human being I am able to understand, or maybe if I give it to someone, the other person will be able to understand that information. It's because of what? An output device that converts the data, or maybe it outputs, it gives the end result of what? Of the data that the computer has processed after inputting it. Now, examples of output devices, we have a monitor. If I'm typing using my keyboard, or maybe if I'm moving my monitor, I am able to see a cursor on my monitor dragging, moving, that white thing. I am able to see it moving around the monitor. So the monitor, what does the monitor do? The monitor shows me to say what you are doing here is here. I am able to see now and then on the screen. I am able to see what I am doing. As a result, it's a output device, because it shows me to say, oh, this is what you are doing, this is what you are typing. I am watching a movie, it's able to show me that. So meaning it's giving me the end result. The other examples of output devices, we have printers, projectors, we have also speakers. We are able to listen to music when it's playing using speakers. I am able to get a copy of what I was typing using a printer. I am able to project information out of a computer, maybe to a screen or or using a projector. So these are output devices that give me the final information, or maybe the final product of what is being processed or what was being processed in a CPU. And then summary, what have we looked at in this video or in this lesson? We have looked at a computer of which we have learned to say a computer is an electronic device operating under instructions stored in its memory. That's a computer. We have also looked at the computer as two components, hardware and software. We have also looked at hardware. What is an hardware? An hardware, we are saying that hardware are physical parts of a computer that I'm able to see or you are able to see. Next, we have also input and output. Output enter data into a computer, and an input enter data into a computer, and output gives the final results. A CPU is the monitor board. A CPU is the motherboard of a computer that processes data into finished product. So this is the summary. So there is nothing hard. Everything here is simple. You just have to go through it, do a practical, think of what a computer is, its component, how a computer processes data. You find things not even to be hard. There is nothing hard. Everything is very, very much simple. So there you have it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. See you in the next video. I have been your tutor, your host, Samtuma Crispin, and please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. If you subscribe, it will give me hope to make more videos. It will encourage me to say, okay, there are people out there who are supporting my work. There are people out there who are like, okay, they really find help in what I do. Therefore, if you subscribe, I'll be motivated to even make more and more videos like this. Thank you very much. Let us meet in the next video. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button. Bye bye.